out and instantly heard this. That song done right there do you a little misery.
Hello, and welcome to another great outdoor adventure from Indian Archery Video. Join us now as we head west in pursuit of the wild turkey. Each year, the crew from IAO travels to the world-renowned Mariposa Ranch to film the Rio Grande Gobblers. Nowhere in the world can you experience the spring ritual quite the way you do at Mariposa. So sit back and relax as Indian Archery Video brings you The Boss. After entering the gates to the ranch, the film crew was anxious to unpack and settle in before the morning hunt. And even at the lodge, it wasn't long before things began to happen.
He's letting off that hen. He's running that hen, man.
This is what we do when we eat lunch.
Mm-hmm.
We sit on the front porch and call them up. Heat him home.
Being a creature of habit, when undisturbed, turkeys generally roost in the same area day after day, and generally follow a daily route from feeding areas to watering areas, and on to resting and dusting areas. With minimal pressure from hunters, the turkeys at Mariposa have been known to use the same roost from year to year. Setting up on these roost areas for the morning hunts has its advantages as well as disadvantages. Getting set up in total darkness is required if you want to get really close. And on these hot, muggy mornings, you never know when you might run into a rattler, scorpion, or even a hill of fire ants. You also run into the problem of from 60 to 100 pair of eyes watching you, and you never seem to have a clear shot at any one gobbler. But your biggest problem will be making yourself shoot. With 50 gobblers strutting in front of you, it's just hard to pull the trigger on such a beautiful sight. As you can see, Brad would be taking too much of a chance by shooting into this large group of birds. And with the show they were putting on, why not wait? It wasn't long before the waiting paid off, and 3 boss gobblers came strutting up the power line. Watch now as all 3 try to figure out why this featherflex hen is giving them the cold shoulder. By remaining perfectly still after the shot and cranking off some loud, aggressive calls, Brad has convinced these 2 gobblers that their buddy must have been struck by lightning.
What do you think? First Texas bird?
First one.
First one. Good bird.
Let's watch that again in slow motion. Hunt number 2 begins with Brad Ferris setting up on the edge of an open field in the middle of the morning. Being unable to coax an old boss gobbler into range earlier in the morning, Brad decided prospecting until lunch would be his best bet. And it wasn't long before his efforts paid off. Let's watch that one more time. Lee Thigpen decided to try his luck on hunt number 3. Armed with a new PSE Dominator, Lee wanted to take his first Rio Grande with bow and arrow. Having seen these turkeys roost the afternoon before, Lee knew he would be in for some fast action as soon as fly down time arrived. Can you imagine the anticipation Lee is feeling, knowing there are literally hundreds of turkeys roosting within range at this very moment? Let's watch as Lee gets ready for the morning hunt.
Boy, Lee, we got in here on this morning, didn't we?
It's unreal. They sure pitched right on down, didn't they?
Yeah, they came right in front of us. And this is one of the first ones that flew in, and Lee put an excellent shot on him. He didn't go that far. We found him up under a tree. After you shot, we just sat here. And it was just turkeys. Just unbelievable what you'll see, or you have seen.
I've never heard so many turkeys gobbling in my life.
God. I guarantee you, we sat right here and we heard well over 200 gobblers this morning, different ones. I mean, they would just sound like a line. They'd start here and they'd go all the way around, and they'd go back in there, and you hear a line of them back through here. It was just unbelievable. Made an excellent shot. Congratulations. I appreciate you letting me film you.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
I did too.
Every now and then, when you think you have these old boss gobblers figured out, they somehow seem to put you back in your spot. This morning, cameraman Jim Jones and hunter Mike Morgan have devised a plan that will eventually put a large flock of gobblers strutting directly in front of gun and camera. As most turkey plans go, the main actors didn't read the script, and as you will see, all Jim and Mike got was a lesson in air traffic control. Good thing Mike didn't think he was duck hunting.
We got in here this morning to the regular roofs that we always set up on, and the turkeys were right where we thought they would be. The only thing is we got a little bit too close. There's this big power line. There's a little field right there on the back of it, and they've been flying down in that field and then coming out in the power line. So we thought we'd just move in a little bit closer to them, and we did. We got set up, and when they flew down, they flew right over our heads. I mean, they were coming in, I don't know, 40 or 50 gobblers it looked like. But when they came in, they were flying maybe 5 feet over our heads directly at us. It would have been like shooting trap or something, except opposite. They came in, they got behind us, but we couldn't get turned around. We had probably 10 big gobblers right in behind us. I don't know, 30 or 40 jakes. They were fighting, gobbling. It was unreal. We couldn't get turned around. We had one land directly. I could have shot him the second his feet touched the ground, but that's just kind of not the way to do it. So we let him go on. He was a good long beard. He came down and hit maybe 10 feet in front of the camera, just going 90 miles an hour. We got turned around, and deer came in behind us and spooked the ones off. Then we came out and set up in the power line, set these decoys out, and we had a group of jakes come in from this way and another group come in this way. They had one long beard with him. We could hear him drumming right up here, but he never would come in. He stayed just right out of range. I never got to see him, but I could hear him. So we're going to pick up. It's about 9 o'clock now. We're going to pick up and just kind of start easing around on these roads and see if we can pick up something. The long beards are all with the hens right now. The jakes are out by themselves. We don't really care to take a jake, so we're going to ease around, see if we can pick up a long beard, just kind of prospecting up and down these roads. And I heard the last big group up this way. I saw some javelina cross and a gobbler cross right in behind them, so we're going to ease up this way and see if we can pick him back up. He was by himself.
Hey, Mike, what is that?
This is what you need to watch out after in South Texas. We came up and parked the truck right here, got out, and instantly heard this. That son of a gun right there did you a little misery.
Let me tell you something. He is letting us know that we're in the wrong spot.
During the heat of the afternoon, one method of hunting these birds is to set up between water holes and roosting areas or resting areas and cold call. Watch now as Mike Morgan calls this group into range and lets the big one get away.
Ain't gonna blow your ear out, is it? Mike, looking right at your head there.
Look at the beard on the turkey on the far right. You won't see many any better. Mike had already chosen this gobbler as the one he wanted to take. As the group approached, Mike's view was momentarily blocked by a clump of dead grass, and as luck would have it, the gobbler switched positions. Not realizing the old Tom switched position and never getting another good look at the beards from his position, Mike stayed on the gobbler on the right until the very end.
These Winchester shells are awesome.
Let me tell you, it took his head off.
Look like I shot a feather pillow. Pitman. I learned to use his Pitman call, Jones.
That one did. You know, it's been thundering a lot lately, you know. I think they probably thought it was thunder. I know my ear did.
I knew it was gonna blow your ear off.
But I had my finger in my ear.
Did you? can't kill him. I knew you were gonna kill him. I thought they were starting to turn that away.
I said, if you don't call, it's gonna be up there.
And that's what I said. I said they're gonna go that way, and then I'm gonna have to shoot the cameraman in the back of the head. I don't know where these turkeys back here came from.
Look, they
So
were
I
right.
heard something, and I looked around, and he was standing 2 feet.
Well, we ain't gonna get that.
Let's watch that again in slow motion. It was now Jim Jones' turn to try his luck at luring in a crafty old gobbler. Set up on the edge of an oak mott, Jim didn't have long to wait before turkeys started to appear. Let's watch now as the moment of truth approaches.
That's a lie. That's a big old magnum turkey right there, partner. Hey, tell me that the Winchester shell doesn't just smoke them. I mean, smoke them. That's a big old magnum turkey. Big old magnum turkey. Get that bird and see what we got.
Well, I might go back this thing.
Let's see that once again.
Man, that's a good bird, Mike. Look at that beard, man. Look at that beard. Check his spurs out, too. About an inch and a quarter. I tell you what, we set up in this oak mont this morning, and partner, we laid some turkeys in here. Look, they gobbled and gobbled and gobbled. Got a bunch of jakes come out here, strut around, fight, and pick around. Finally, this big old longbeard, he couldn't stand it. He had to come in there with a few jakes. I hit one call with my mouth call, and in he came. He didn't do a whole bunch of strutting or anything. I think he was worried about those jakes getting his hen. But anyway, he is now going to be in the ice box. Good turkey, though. Good turkey. I think if we get around on the other side of these birds, we might be able to get one more. Because it's early. It's 8:01. These birds started flying down, what, about 7:15? Took about 45 minutes to get these birds. But good turkey bird. Good turkey bird. I tell you what, I bet that bird weighs 20 pounds. Big bird. You get a picture of that beard there, Mike?
Every now and then, a hunt ends up being an afterthought. This particular afternoon, Mike and Jim were heading to their evening hunting area when they spotted a couple of gobblers strutting around a hen in the middle of a huge field. Parking the truck and slipping from mesquite to mesquite, Mike and Jim finally got in what they considered decent position. And as usual, the turkey almost outsmarted them. Watch now, and you'll see why it's good to know how to shoot from both shoulders.
Shot him right-handed.
Oh, man.
That thing kicked the stomp out of me. believe we call these off them hens?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh man, he got a pretty good beard.
Let's see what he's got there. Oh yeah, that's a good turkey.
Yeah.
Hold him there just a second. Yeah, that's a good turkey. I cannot believe he came back.
I looked over there and both of them were coming. I said, holy mackerel.
Way to go, Pano. Woo!
You know what we did then? We called this son of a gun strutting on two hens. I mean, he was on two hens over there strutting. We saw him and we made a big loop around him. We came in on the back side of this mite. When we got here, we ran the front to get set up and they were already about even with us. So we ran back to the back side of it. Well, our truck's back there, so they saw everything. When we came back, they were already past, and we just started calling a little bit, and they'd gobble just to see if we could get them to gobble. Had a real bad setup just out in the wide open. And I'm left-handed, so my shots were all back over here. Well, they got back there, and we heard another turkey over here. I started calling pretty hard to him.
That sounded like an old Jake.
Yeah.
You know?
So all of a sudden, I kind of cut the corner of my eye, and I saw this one strutting with another one right there. I mean, and I got you between me and him. Plus, I'm left-handed, can't shoot that way, so I slid this 870 over to my right shoulder, and I kind of bit my teeth, because I can't shoot anything
Did
right-handed.
you shoot it right-handed?
Shot right-handed. First time I've ever shot anything right-handed. And he came on out, and I didn't know how far he had to come out. And then I saw, we started heading the other way, and I knew we weren't going to be able to call him back in any further because he didn't see the hen here, and it's just wide open. He knew that something was up.
I mean, there's nothing. I mean, it's just a field.
So I waited. I waited till he got out in front of you, and then I kind of leaned out a little bit, and I know it blew your ears out.
No, I'm getting used to this.
Stick a finger in that ear.
That's 2 fingers in the ear in 2 days.
I shot him right-handed, and I knocked his head off. He Winchester. Number 5 Winchesters out of that gun are awesome.
That is the most awesome. This morning I took a bird with this same shell, and it is just absolutely. How far is that shot? 30 yards?
Yeah, it's a good 30 yards. It just bowled him over. And like I say, I was aiming for the head, but shooting right-handed and not even knowing. I don't know where I hit him. All I know is I hit him. But he's got he's not a real old bird. He's got a pretty good beard on him. What's that?
10-inch beard.
Yeah, 10-inch beard.
10.5-inch beard.
He's a 2-year-old bird. Hasn't got real big spurs, but he's a good 2-year-old bird. But we sure called him off. We called him off the hens. That's what I liked about it. It's getting later on in the afternoon, and they'd been feeding out, but calling him off those hens is what's doing something.
Oh man, I tell you what, I know Pittman all the way. We're killing him, no doubt about it.
He can't stand that. We hit him with a Pittman. We hit him with the box call a little bit, and combination of that, they took him out. Well, let's get him, head back in.
Congratulations, man.
Be your turn again in the morning. We got a big roost picked out in the morning. We know they're. I mean, it looked like somebody had taken just turkey feathers and thrown them everywhere. So it's just unbelievable over there. So we're going to get there in the morning and see if we can knock one out. This will be a good one for the pan.
One thing I cannot believe about this turkey is they had already gone past and then turned around and came back.
You called them back, huh?
I just unbelievable. Well, good calling, man.
Let's go.
Billy DeVinny of Jackson, Mississippi is the hunter on hunt number 8. Being an afternoon hunt, Billy knew it could be hours before the turkey started to head to roost, so he chose a shady area between a windmill and a large oak mott to set up. Having seen turkeys roost in this area before, Billy and cameraman Mike Morgan were hoping to intercept them as they made their way to the afternoon resting area. Let's watch now and see if they made the right choice. From the camera angle, it didn't look possible for Billy to shoot without wounding several birds. But after talking to him and seeing the shot, it was obvious he had a clear shooting lane. With very little human contact and little or no hunting pressure, these turkeys don't realize what a gunshot is. After the initial blast, these turkeys settled back down and decided to roost in this motte. Watch now this rarely seen event of turkeys going up to roost. On this next hunt, we had the honor of filming Mr. Eddie Briggs, the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Mississippi. Being an avid hunter, the Lieutenant Governor was attempting to harvest his first spring Rio Grande gobbler. During a fall deer hunt to South Texas, the Lieutenant Governor had taken a nice mature gobbler with his bow, but all sights were now set on calling a large tom into gun range. Let's watch now as this gobbler slips in and almost catches the cameraman off guard.
All right. Eddie Briggs. What do you say, man?
It's an easy calling one.
When did they not come inside?
I heard it was a strutting there while I was here.
Yeah, you heard that?
Yeah.
I heard that and I said, uh-oh, something ain't right.
It's a good bird, too.
That's a good bird. Well, Eddie, congratulations.
Well,
That is a big magnum turkey.
It is a good turkey. This turkey's about 5 years old, and from the feel of him, I think he weighs about 20 pounds.
That's a good 20-pound turkey.
It was an interesting afternoon. We made a couple of birds gobble over in the distance here, about 200 yards away, and the wind is blowing so hard, it's hard to course a turkey. It's pretty hard to move to them this afternoon. And the first group of birds that came in were those 6 hens.
It was 6 hens, wasn't it?
And I just knew there was going to be a big tom strutting along behind those. But they came in and stayed in front of us about 30 or 40 yards, and then we just kept plucking and purring to them, and then finally they moved up, I guess, about 10, 12 yards there, right to our left. And
Yeah,
we
they were close at one point. They walked right up under the street right here, didn't they?
They did, right there.
Yeah, good.
And we were sitting there calling to them, and then all of a sudden I hear this truck stuck in the mud over here. Boom. And I said, my goodness, that's the turkey strutting.
I knew then we were in trouble because when I heard that noise and I said, oh, it's to my right, I said, the camera's pointed out here where the turkeys had just left from. I said, man, well, they had us. I got it on just in time, though. I mean, the turkey is now a move star.
Yeah.
But that was a great shot, beautiful Texas bird. And, hey, magnum spur, what, about 1.25 inches?
I expect at least an inch and an eighth, maybe.
What length beard? What do you estimate?
The bird, it's a 10 or 10 and a half beard. It's a good good heavy beard. You could tell, obviously, he was the biggest of the 3 toms that were there.
No doubt about it. I was just hoping I was on the right bird because, man, look, we had no time to communicate or anything. That was quick.
These birds are a little prettier than our eastern turkey, I believe. They're a little more iridescent. The big toms are blacker, and you can see the colors on their breast. And boy, there are lots of them on this place.
Man.
We must have seen 50 different toms as we rode in here this afternoon.
You couldn't understand why we were passing up 50 times that we were looking at to come to a place where we hadn't heard a bird for an hour.
I'm telling you, I just can't wait till in the morning at dawn to hear that owl call
It's
and get
gonna
that
be,
response.
It's going to be unbelievable. Well, listen, congratulations on your Texas turkey there, man. That's great. Is this your
Thanks.
first Texas? No, this is your...
This is actually my first Texas turkey, my first Rio Grande. I can't, well, no, I take that back. I killed one in the fall last year with a bow.
That's right, with a bow.
And then last spring I came out and brought a group and hunted, and I called, but I didn't shoot. So
Didn't shoot. So this is the first during the spring.
That's the first spring turkey out here that I have called and shot myself. But it's a great experience. There's so many birds out here, and they're just fun to work.
That's great. Well, congratulations.
Thanks again.
This last hunt demonstrates the proper way to use a decoy while bow hunting. If you know the travel route of the gobbler, place the decoy at a 90-degree angle to your blind or setup. This gives the gobbler a chance to approach the decoy without detecting any movement on the hunter's part, and gives the hunter a chance to draw without being seen. This particular setup would be just perfect as the gobbler came in from the right and never saw the hunter draw his bow. As you can see, all they were looking at was the decoy.
Find him?
Yeah,
Right, I heard you holler.
finally.
I barely heard you holler. How far is this?
Oh, God. He flew a long ways. He jumped up and flew off a little bit and ran. We found him laying here on the edge of this mesquite and this oak right here. He's up on this tree right here.
Well,
Right up in there.
you know when he hit the ground, he gobbled a couple times, and
I thought I had missed him or just hit him in the feathers or something.
I knew you had hit him, but I never seen one hit and then hit the ground and gobble like that.
But it was worth worth looking for, because I went to my ear and it was blood all over it, and the little stopper I was shooting was all up against the fletchings and everything, so I knew it had gone through him. So we just looked at it, just this little bitty strip. It's not real big, it kind of comes around.
Right.
And we just walked in this strip side to side and finally looked up, walked right up on him.
Well, I barely heard you holler, bring the camera, so I figured you had found something.
Well, he come in fast, didn't he?
Oh man, what you talking about?
Indian Archery Video would like to thank Dan Sullivan and Robert King, owners and operators of SK Corporation and the Mariposa Ranch. For more hunting information, please contact Indian Archery Outfitters. We would also like to thank our sponsors, Southern Comfort Outdoors, makers of Cook's Original Butt Saver, the sportsman's ultimate asset. Featherflex decoys. When getting close means the difference in success and failure, go Featherflex. Relmar Products Incorporated, makers of Hightem Hunter, accessories for the sportsman. Precision Shooting Equipment, makers of the world's finest archery equipment. Hayes Outdoors, makers of Mossy Oak, America's most effective concealment system. Preston Pittman Game Calls, from the backwoods to the top of the world. By Winchester, what America shoots.
These Winchester shells are awesome.
Let me tell you, it took his head off.
Looked like I shot a feather pillow.